Every conspiracy begins with a question someone wasn't supposed to ask.
At 15 seconds, guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engines running. We have a liftoff. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
Shadow. 4 forward, drift into the right a little. 30 seconds forward, drift. Contact light. Okay, engine stop. Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're going to be busy for a minute.
Armstrong is on the moon. Neil Armstrong, 38-year-old American, standing on the surface of the moon. On this July 20th, 1969.
That's one small step for man. One giant leap for mankind. Oh, that looks beautiful,
On July 20th, 1969, approximately 650 million people watched a man step onto the surface of the moon.
Beautiful, beautiful. Isn't that something? Magnificent sight out here. Magnificent desolation. Tranquility Base, Houston. Guidance recommendation is pings, and you're cleared for takeoff. Roger, understand. We're number 1 on the runway. 7, 6, 5, engine arm ascent. Beautiful. Very smooth. Very quiet ride.
It was the most watched television broadcast in human history to that point. A global audience, united for a single moment, watching Neil Armstrong descend a ladder and speak words that would be quoted for centuries. It was real, and almost immediately, some people began to suspect that it wasn't. Today, depending on the survey and the country, somewhere between 5 and 20% of people believe the moon landing was faked. In some countries, the number is higher. Among younger people, raised on a diet of digital manipulation, deep fakes, and institutional distrust, the number is growing. This episode is not about whether the moon landing happened. It happened. This episode is about why, more than 50 years later, millions of people still don't believe it, and what that disbelief tells us about the relationship between truth, evidence, and trust. The most expensive film production in history. Let's start with the conspiracy version of events, because it's a good story. According to the theory, the United States could not actually land humans on the moon before the Soviet Union. The technology wasn't ready. The risk was too high. But the political stakes, the Cold War, national prestige, the promise made by a now-dead president, made failure unacceptable.
And this will be done in the decade of the 60s. It may be done while some of you are still here at school at this college and university. It will be done during the terms of office of some of the people who sit here on this platform. But it will be done.
So instead of landing on the moon, the theory goes, NASA filmed it on a soundstage with Hollywood techniques, possibly directed by Stanley Kubrick, whose 2001 A Space Odyssey had demonstrated just 1 year earlier that convincing space imagery could be created on Earth. It's a compelling narrative. It has a motive, Cold War desperation. It has a method, Hollywood special effects. It has a famous name attached, Kubrick. And it has the irresistible appeal of the hidden truth that only the awakened few can see. There's just one problem. It would have been harder to fake than to actually do. The Kubrick paradox. Let's take the Kubrick claim seriously for a moment. In 1969, the special effects technology required to convincingly fake the moon landing, the lighting, the physics of dust movement in a vacuum, the behavior of objects in 1/6 gravity, the continuous live television transmission supposedly from lunar orbit did not exist. Stanley Kubrick, ironically, is the proof of this. 2001. A Space Odyssey is a masterpiece. But watch it today, and you can tell it was filmed on Earth. The physics are subtly wrong. The dust doesn't behave correctly. The motion is earthbound. To fake the moon landing convincingly, NASA would have needed to invent special effects technology decades ahead of its time. Technology that wouldn't actually exist until the digital era. And then keep that technology secret while Hollywood continued using visibly inferior techniques for another 30 years. The faking would have required more advanced technology than the landing itself. This is the first crack in the theory, but it's not the one that matters most. What you can check yourself. Here is the part of the story that conspiracy theories tend to leave out. During the Apollo missions, astronauts placed devices on the lunar surface called retro-reflectors, special mirrors designed to bounce laser beams directly back to their source. These reflectors are still there. And to this day, observatories around the world, including facilities you can visit, run by universities with no connection to NASA, fire lasers at the moon and measure the reflection. The McDonald Observatory in Texas, the Côte d'Azur Observatory in France, the Apache Point Observatory in New Mexico. Anyone with access to the right equipment can verify that there are human-made reflectors on the surface of the moon, placed precisely where NASA said they landed. This isn't NASA asking you to trust them. This is independent, repeatable, physical evidence that anyone with a sufficiently powerful laser and telescope can confirm. The Soviet Union, America's direct competitor, with every motivation to expose a hoax and the technical capacity to detect one, tracked the Apollo missions independently. They never disputed the landing, because they watched it happen with their own instruments. If the moon landing had been faked, the one nation on Earth most motivated to prove it and most capable of proving it would have done so immediately. They didn't. Because they couldn't. Because it was real.
Версию. Да. Мне кажется, что фальсифицировать такое мероприятие невозможно. Как бы ни было. Это, знаете, это то же самое, что некоторые утверждают, что 11 сентября американцы сами взорвали вот эти башни-близнецы. Сами руководили действиями террористов. Полная чушь. Бред. Это невозможно. Это огромная трагедия американского народа и большая трагедия для всего мира, я считаю, вот это, то, что произошло 11 сентября. Гибель тысяч людей. И представить себе, что американские спецслужбы сделали это сознательно, сами, своими руками, это полный бред.
Where the theory actually comes from. The moon landing conspiracy has a specific origin. In 1976, a man named Bill Kaysing self-published a book called We Never Went to the Moon, America's $30 billion swindle. Kaysing had worked for Rocketdyne, a company involved in the Apollo program, though in a clerical and technical writing capacity, not as an engineer. He had no expertise in the relevant fields, but he had proximity, and proximity gave his claims an air of insider authority. His book introduced nearly all of the arguments that would define the moon hoax theory for the next 50 years. The flag appears to wave in a place with no air. The shadows fall in different directions, suggesting multiple light sources, like a film set. There are no stars in the photographs. The radiation of the Van Allen belts should have killed the astronauts. Every one of these arguments has a clear scientific explanation. The flag waved because it was being moved and a horizontal rod held it extended. In a vacuum with no air resistance, the motion continued longer than it would on Earth. The shadows fall differently because of uneven terrain and wide-angle lens distortion. There are no stars because the camera exposures were set for the bright sunlit surface, which washes out fainter light. The radiation exposure during the rapid transit through the Van Allen belts was real but not lethal. These explanations are well documented. They are not difficult to find, but finding them requires something the theory is designed to prevent: trusting the explanation. Why the theory survives. Here is the deeper truth of this episode. The moon landing hoax theory does not survive because the evidence is ambiguous. The evidence is overwhelming. Hundreds of thousands of people worked on the Apollo program. Independent nations tracked it. Physical artifacts remain on the lunar surface. Moon rocks have been distributed to laboratories worldwide and analyzed by scientists with no stake in the outcome. The theory survives for the same reasons every theory in this series survives. It offers the pleasure of seeing through the official story. It offers membership in a community of the awakened. It offers a simple, dramatic narrative in place of a complex, technical reality. And, crucially, it offers a response to a genuine truth. Governments do lie. The same United States government that landed on the moon also ran MK-Ultra, as we documented in an earlier episode, also misled the public about Area 51, also conducted secret experiments on its own citizens. So when someone says the government faked the moon landing, they are wrong about the specific claim, but they are drawing on a pattern of institutional deception that is, in other contexts, completely real. This is the tragedy of the broken trust we have explored throughout this series. When institutions lie about some things, people lose the ability to believe them about anything, even when they're telling the truth, even when they took us to the moon. The generational shift. There is something new happening with the moon landing in particular. Belief that the landing was faked is higher among younger generations than older ones, a reversal of the usual pattern where conspiracy beliefs tend to fade as events recede into established history. Why? Because younger people have grown up in a world where images cannot be trusted, where deepfakes are convincing, where any video can be manipulated, where the line between real and fabricated has genuinely technologically dissolved. To someone raised in that environment, the question is not, why would anyone fake the moon landing? The question is, how could you possibly know if they did? This is the post-truth condition we identified in our very first episode, applied retroactively to one of the most well-documented events in human history. The moon landing didn't become more doubtful because new evidence emerged. It became more doubtful because trust in evidence itself eroded. The question. We end every episode with the same question. The moon landing is one of the most thoroughly documented, independently verified, physically confirmed events in human history. The evidence is not in question. The reflectors are still on the moon. The rocks are still in the laboratories. The Soviet tracking data still exists. And still, millions doubt. Not because they are stupid, not because they are crazy, but because they live in a world where institutions have squandered their credibility, where images can be faked, and where the difference between healthy skepticism and corrosive denial has become almost impossible to navigate. The moon landing was real. The doubt is also real. And the question, the one we always end with, is not how we mock the doubters. It's how we rebuild a world in which the truth, when we finally achieve something extraordinary and true, is something people can actually believe. Because we did go to the moon, and the fact that millions don't believe it might be the most dystopian thing this series has examined. Not the lie that people believe, the truth that they can't.
Astronauts Neil A. Armstrong, Edwin E. Aldrin, and Michael Collins, the three men who will make the next and most historic round trip to the moon.
This has been Conspiracy Explained, a dystopian.de production. Not to debunk, not to mock, to understand. Sources and further reading in the description below. Next, the architecture of belief. How three American religions built the same machine.